Now, what are the options that you have to get into this hypervisor to manage it? First, you can input the IP address right into the address bar. Second, you can use the hypervisor name into the address bar, and also you can input the hypervisor that domain / plus the rest of the link, right? So this is just in case if this hypervisor is part of any domain. So you input the hypervisor name plus the domain name / and the rest of the link, like I said before, right? So what else can you do once you get into this hypervisor? So from the host client, you can do troubleshooting tasks, you can do initial host setup, virtual machine deployment, configuration and interaction via a remote console, perform monitoring, creation and management of data store and the storage system, management of network resources, and finally advanced host configuration. So once you are into this hypervisor, you can do all that, but there is something that you have to know, because if, let's take for example that you have a vCenter in your environment and this host is part of that vCenter. So once this host is part of a vCenter, you are gonna have limited options in this host, because anytime or every time that you need to, for example, delete a VM, the vCenter is gonna send you a message telling you this host belongs to a vCenter and it is not recommended to delete a virtual machine from the host. So what do you need to do in that case? So I would recommend to you not to do that much in this host client option if this host is part of a vCenter, right? So it is much better, way better to do it from the vCenter and just avoid issues, conflicts between the vCenter and the host client. So let's say that this host is part of a vCenter. All you gotta do is to get into the vSphere web client or vSphere client and make the changes. All right. So guys, next we are gonna get into this host. Can be any host or hypervisor. You can name it whatever you want. All right. So we are gonna get into this hypervisor through the VMware host client, and then I'm gonna give you a quick overview of the part of this interface. So I'm gonna go over the main panel, I'm gonna go over to the navigator, and I'm gonna go over to the recent task. So I'm gonna show you around and see how it works. So let's go and keep on going on this tutorial, right? Next, we are gonna get into this host or hypervisor through the VMware host client. Okay guys, finally we made it to this graphical user interface. We are gonna get there through the IP address. So once you get this IP address all set up, you need to input the root username and the password. Then you click on login. Okay, so as you can see on the left side of this interface, we are gonna have the navigator. Navigator is gonna be this one right in there all the way to the end. Next, we have right in the middle the main panel. Okay, so right on the bottom we are gonna have the recent tasks, right? So how it works, so every time that you click on any link right in here, you are gonna see the display or the result of whatever you do in the middle. And every time that you make an activity in this hypervisor, you are gonna have it right in here in the recent task. All right, so let's go and click on host. Okay, it's already there, and you can see that you have the option to get the vCenter server. All right, so you have the option to create or register VMs. You got the option to check down the host, reboot it, refresh, and you got more options right in this list. Okay, you can see the CPU, the memory, and storage resources. Also, if we go down here, you can see a lot more information about this host. For example, on how many logical processor, the processor type, the sockets, the core per socket, and the hyper threading. All right,